Welcome back to the Stormcrow Show. I'm Brady.
And I'm Josh.
And today we are going to be covering two topics relating to Masters 25.
That's right. And I guess we should just get straight to it. First of all, we're really sorry. But Brady was wrong about Masters 25.
Whoa, wait, no. You can take responsibility for this. I am not taking full responsibility for your mistakes.
All right, in all honesty, we were wrong. And to be fair, I was surprised about some of the stuff they did. I mean, some stuff made sense, but some of the other mythic choices they made kind of threw me for a loop, to be perfectly blunt.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering what we're talking about one of our videos from a few months ago where we discussed the potential mythic reprints that they could do.
Yep.
We were just making educated guesses, and we were wrong on, like, all accounts.
Yeah, the closest we got is that we did anticipate Wizards unbanning a card for Modern, because they said that. And so our thought was, since Jace, the Mind Sculptor, was probably too powerful, that they would unban Stoneforge Mystic. Turns out Wizards disagreed.
Yeah, and that was really, really surprising. And I guess the other thing that we sort of kind of figured out was that Nicole Bolas was going to be back for Masters 25. Only the changes here is that he's not a Planeswalker, he's not a Mythic. We got the rare legendary creature with the new artwork, though, so yes. That was good.
Yes,
that was
you,
good.
Wizards. Thank you for doing that, at least. So we do apologize for possibly hyping up the set way more than... I mean, we honestly thought it was going to be very different than it was, and I think a lot of people did, to be fair.
Yeah.
But, you know, we accept that we did not get that correct.
And we will probably be doing more prediction videos in the future, so yeah. We're just warning you. We're not going to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll try to make our guesses even more educated in the future.
Yeah.
So, but on that note, regardless of that, Brady, what are your thoughts about Masters 25? Just overview.
All right, so I'm going to start out with its problems.
Okay, sounds good.
So the problems here that I'm seeing are that, number one, about only half the Mythics are going to break the $10 MSRP price
per pack.
Okay. And that's a big problem for me because I'm like, you know, we have limited budgets. I do not feel good about going to a draft, spending $40 on a draft, because I cannot say that I confidently feel that I will walk away with at least $40 worth of cards.
Or even half that amount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the rares, doing a little number crunching, we figured out that around 30-ish of the rares and mythics, so I believe there'd be 68 total, around 30 of them, previous to the set being printed, the prices would have broken the $10 MSRP per pack. So this was pretty good. You know, it was a little under half, but that's not bad. Mm-hmm. It was mostly the mythics that I felt were kind of and then I was really surprised at some of the rares they chose. You know, I did not see Fortune Thief coming. Like, that is the one card, Josh can attest to this, I will not shut up about this card. I saw this card reprinted, I'm like, I was just sitting here going, why? This card did not even need a reprint. It was worth all of $1 before it got reprinted.
It must have really brought back some great nostalgia from that set. You know, I mean, to be fair, we go back as far as basically the Scars. Well, I go back to the Scars block, and maybe technically a little before then. And your first set you ever drafted was New Phyrexia. So,
yeah.
In one sense, we weren't familiar with the draft formats really prior to that. I mean, I guess we might have been a little bit familiar with Zendikar and maybe Alara. At least I was. But anything prior to that, no. But no, I think it's funny. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is good though?
Yeah. So my good things on this were, this set looks like a ball to draft. Like, if it were not $30-$40 to draft, oh my goodness, I would have so much fun drafting this set. I love their common and uncommon selection.
Yeah.
They just knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got Brainstorm, Counterspell, Dark Ritual, Lightning Bolt, Boros Charm. There were just so many good cards that it was like, if you're in those colors, you'd be foolish not to take them.
Yeah, Ancient Stirring was Utopia Strabal on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. There were just so many good cards.
Yeah.
So this set definitely looks like a very fun set to draft. And that's my big spiel about the set. So, Josh, how about you?
So I kind of have a similar feeling. I mean, I think I'm trying to think of like what the reasoning behind this is. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, though. The issue isn't that the set is bad. The issue is that Wizards is asking too much money for it. Paying $40 per draft. I mean, assuming you pay, $30 for the packs you open or draft, and then the one pity pack covered with the extra $10, or like the one pack you would do if you just didn't win, is usually how at least my experience has been if you actually draft at like a local gaming store. But the big thing is, from what I can tell, this is a very draftable, and I would have a lot of fun drafting this. But I think if they had asked the price of like $7 per pack, the MSRP was $7, I think that would have probably gotten a lot more people more impressed with it. And it's unfortunate because I think people are going to look at this and go like, I mean, let's put it this way. Tree of Redemption.
Yeah.
Just kind of summarizes, I think, the feeling. I mean, honestly, I kind of was... It was funny. Brady told me this, and he was like, they revealed the last green mythic. And I was like, well, what's that? I assume it's not Tarmogoyf, because at this point I was kind of like, it can't be Tarmogoyf. Based on what I was saying, he was like, nope. And I was like, Ventrine? Maybe we were right. And then he was like, nope. And I was like, what is it? It's from Innistrad. And I'm like sitting here, and I'm trying to think of the mythics from Innistrad. I'm like, Garrick? And he's like, nope. I'm like, what?
Tree of Redemption, man.
And I just kind of looked at him, and I thought, like... I must have misheard him, but I didn't. And I'm not the only one who kind of feels that same way. And again, it's a draftable, wonderful card. But you look at this and you go like, I'm going to pay $40 for it. And I think that's the issue. And unfortunately, I could see this actually kind of backfiring for a lot of people. Is that they kind of feel like they have to pay a lot of money. In one sense, like you know what this reminds me of? M10.
Yeah.
Like M10, like I didn't draft it, but I read a lot about it. And I was... started playing around that time, so I was familiar with cards like Baneslayer, of course, and cards like that. And oddly enough, Baneslayer didn't show up in this set, much to my surprise.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, that makes sense. If you look at M10, that was still MSRP was $4 per pack. Like this is kind of that M10 feel, and that's why I think it's a good set from a drafting standpoint, and even just like if this was the new standard set. Well, it might be a tad overpowered with Swords to Plowshares and stuff like that, but a lot of this would probably be very standard playable. Mm-hmm. Like there's some exceptions, but the exceptions kind of prove the rule. And I think that's something that we all have to recognize, that, and I hope Wizards recognizes that the problem isn't that it isn't a good set. I think it was very well designed. The problem is the cost.
Right, and like this would definitely be why, at least initially for me, I usually try to get a hold of a box of each master set that comes out, or at least half a box, depending on whether or not Josh wants to split it with me.
Sure.
But the fact is that for me, I'm going to probably just wait until the box prices drop more in like the $140, $130 mark. I don't know if they're ever going to get there, simply because Jace the Mind Sculptor is in the set, and he's always going to keep the price a little bit higher.
Yeah, if he gets banned in Modern again, it probably will drop, though.
Yeah, that's true. But for me, I am not willing to pay retail for this set. Again, it looks like fun, but it doesn't look like $240 worth of fun, which would be the price of a box.
Right, and that actually could, like, again, just to reemphasize that point, I looked on TCG Player 4 days ago, and we realized you can buy Scars of Mirrodin for, I mean, unless they raised the price since then, but at the time we looked at it, it was about $220.
Yeah,
and that was for 36 packs, and that gave you a chance to draw any of the allied fast lands, including, what's the black-red one?
Backleaf Cliffs.
Blackleaf, yes, which is extremely expensive right now because Jund's back in the meta and modern. Obviously, Mox Opal.
Yep. I would say probably. I haven't looked at the set super recently, but I know that a fair amount of the mythics break $10 a piece, depending on where you look.
Yeah, and then you have a variety of just powerful cards that are just playable, or like you can build a good portion of your affinity deck from just buying, theoretically getting super lucky.
Yeah.
In pulling in opening a Scars of Mirrodin box. I'm not saying you should go out and do that. I'm just pointing out that. Again, if Wizards watches this, I hope they look at this and think like, "Oh, maybe that's what we have to think about here when we're designing this." Because the other thing is, if they've done 36 packs per box, again, that would change the they said MSRP was $10 per pack, so I mean they have to change the MSRP basically for this set. Because honestly, I just don't see how it can actually maintain that MSRP. At least in the short term. I mean, long term, sure, but that's not when they really care about it at that point.
Right. So, to boil it all down, words of wisdom from this video is don't buy this set at MSRP. Wait until it drops. Hopefully it will. Yeah. And then we can all be happy little children together. But
the store selling it might not be, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, take it as you will.
So, but on the whole, I mean, if you get a chance to draft this, I mean, or if you want to, I mean, please, if you want to, don't let us stop you. I mean, have your fun. We're just saying you can probably do the same amount of fun theoretically for less cost.
Yeah.
And that's important, I think, for everybody involved.
Yeah, since we're all typically operating on limited budgets that we can spend on this card game.
Yeah, well, I mean...
we hope so, anyways.
Some of us have more budgets than others, but at the end of the day, the average player, I'm sure, is either in high school or college, and that is the definition of a limited budget.
Yes, typically.
So kids, spend your money wisely, and more importantly, save your money.
Yeah.
Anyway, so any other thoughts, Brady?
No, that's all I had.
All right, great. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm not sure what we're doing next. It might be that D&D episode. Check that one out. We'll get more episodes up sooner or later with that. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.